Welcome to the Celtics postgame live. Tom Giles in for Amina Smith tonight. Celtics falling 115-96 at home to the LA Clippers. So that's 2 straight losses at home after they lost to the Nuggets earlier in the week. We got Eddie House. We got Scal joining us right off the top as well. And Eddie, I want to start with you because Scal, I heard you say at the end of the broadcast there, it wasn't like the Celtics were stuck in mud. It was, missing shots and a lot of what you saw from Ty Lue as far as the game plan goes. Eddie, how do you really account for this loss for the Celtics?
Well, you could say all of those things. You missed shots, you had opportunities, but you got to also give credit to the Clippers because maybe at the beginning of the season or as the season was going, this might not have been one of those games that you circled and said, "Oh, I can't wait for this." But the Clippers did that. The Clippers are measuring, and they're taking names as they're going along. They're keeping their receipts, and they're saying, "You know what? People didn't count us out. We got this. This is supposed to be the best team in the league. We're going to come in here. It don't matter if we off a back-to-back or not. We're going to come in here and show and express that we are that team. We are a team that you need to be worried about." And I think that this also goes to Joe Mazzulla has to make adjustments, and I don't want to overreact off of one game or 2 games. I don't want to do that. But in this game, there was no adjustments. Every basket we tried to make was hard. There was no easy baskets being made. They got a lot of easy baskets. So to me, this is a good test right here for you to look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, we got to get better on some things. You don't press the panic button, but there are a lot of things, because it's the second big loss that you've had here in the last, 2 weeks? You know what I mean? And that's concerning to me.
Yeah, when I looked at this game, I don't feel like we were running in mud. I just felt like everything we tried to do, it didn't work. Clippers, there are times when it looks like the Celtics are playing 5-on-4. Let's be honest. That ball is popping. Like against Miami, it looked like they were playing 5-on-4. And they got teams on skates in rotation. I don't remember one time in this game that I felt like we had those guys on skates and then flying around. I just think those guys were so locked into what we were doing. They were prepared. I don't know how Ty Lue did it on a back-to-back, but they were ready to go. They had an answer for all of our action. We would run something, we'd call play, they would have the counter to it. So I give Ty Lue and this Clipper team a lot of credit. This team is locked in. They don't look like 4 Hall of Famers trying to do their own thing. They look like 4 Hall of Famers teaming up and deciding to make sacrifices, and each one just playing the role to win games.
The other thing, too, about this was that, the Celtics starters scored 38 points, right? Jason Tatum had 21 of those, which means the other 4 guys had 17. It was weird because they're without Kristaps Porzingis, but it felt like they were short 2 or 3 guys the way that game flowed, especially with the starters on the floor, Scal.
Yeah, to me, it felt like we couldn't bend their defense. Like, that's what this whole thing is about, right? When we play, bend you, we put you in rotation, all of a sudden you find something, pass, Derek White, 3-pointer, that's going to break your back. But they just, I don't know if it's because of Porzingis. I don't know if Al, when he popped his finger, if all of a sudden now he couldn't shoot the ball because he missed 3 wide open shots. I don't know if that momentum carried through, but everything we tried to do, there was nothing that was working tonight. And the only thing that was working was Jason Tatum's talent. Like, he can get to where he wanted to on the floor, but they kept Kawhi Leonard off Tatum. It felt like wherever Kawhi Leonard was at, we just can't run action to that area.
Well, I'll say that when you got 3 guys in double figures in your and 2 of them are your bench players, only 1 starter in double figures, and Derek White and Al Horford, they didn't have a great game. And so, like I'm saying, everybody is given the grace of not having a great game every single night. I understand that. But what I'm saying is to this point, Scal, you say that the defense, we couldn't get nothing going, and it seemed like they had a counter for everything. Well, that's where I feel like we should have a counter for everything as well. If they counter, we should counter whatever they're trying to counter for our offense. You know what I mean? But I felt like there was no adjustments that were being made throughout the game. We just continued to try to play the same way and say, hey, this is the way we play. And it's not working. Tonight it wasn't working. And some nights it's not going to work, and it doesn't matter what you do. It's just not going to work. Maybe this was one of those nights, but these nights, 2 losses like this, too close against championship teams that are they are considered themselves championship level teams. These are things that have to be addressed. I mean, you know that, Scal. Come on, man. You ain't getting blew out twice. I don't care what we talking about. You're a championship team. You're not getting blew out twice in a 2-week span.
You're talking about the Denver. You're talking about the Denver game?
No,
Milwaukee.
I'm talking about the Milwaukee game.
Oh no, man, that's an asterisk. I thought the whole time I'm thinking
we could throw that there. That's cool to throw that there at first, but then this is the same type of performance.
Well, this was not.
Am I wrong?
This was just the Clippers beating us, like Clippers having an answer for everything that we brought. This was not us running in mud. This was not a scheduling loss for us. We had 2 days off before Miami. We had Miami a day off afterwards. This is not that, Eddie. This is, we thought we were going to come in and we thought the Clippers were sweet because we beat them by, we beat them by 40 in L.A.? Oh, these guys are sweet.
This should have been a scheduling loss for them, though.
No, it should have been, but we thought they were sweet, and they're not sweet. Like, you guys were a fluke, even though they didn't realize that was a scheduling loss for them. And, yeah, I mean, I think you take both the losses and you throw them out because the Celtics now know the Clippers are for real. If we were going to match up with them in the NBA Finals, you can't go in there and take them lightly. I just felt like we probably took them a little bit light, and nothing worked for us. Nothing worked. There was no thing that we could do offensively that can bend that defense tonight. Everything they did was right. Everything we did was average to below average.